With the federal election just under a year away, the committee is right to look into possible voter suppression taking place. And I say possible, and we know that voter suppression has been taking place, is being taken place, and is planned.
It is time that the American people hear from more than just us that there is a concerted effort across this country to limit, to suppress, and to undo our right to vote. It is deliberate and it is by design. From Ohio to Wisconsin, down to Florida, across Texas, the franchise is under attack today in this country. A certain predetermined segment of Americans are being targeted. Young people, the elderly, our disabled, and our minorities will all feel the repercussions of this concerted effort. There's nothing new about the tactics that we are seeing today, if you've lived at least as long as I have lived. These are the tactics that have been used for years to compromise the franchise. What we called a poll tax 50 years ago is now having to buy a voter ID card today.
I was a little surprised to hear one of the witnesses talk about educate state legislators. They know what's going on. This is an organized, deliberate, concerted effort to disenfranchise millions of voters, minority voters, older voters, younger voters, student voters, for political purposes. When someone testified or wrote, I think Ms. Arnwine mentioned that someone talked about how poor people wanted to just use the vote to rob other people. That's straight out of the Federalist Party of 1800, and unfortunately the Jeffersonian Democrats didn't agree with it then, the Jacksonian Democrats didn't agree with it, the Whigs didn't agree with it eventually. It's taken till now to come back. But we see this, it's a deliberate attempt to disenfranchise poor people, because some people think that taxation is theft, and if poor people vote, low-income people vote, they'll just use it to extract money from rich people and take it to them, and that's an improper thing. That's improper, so let's restrict them from voting, because they don't have a stake in society anyway. And we've seen people write that. We had a member of this committee from the other side of the aisle who basically said he was in favor of property, restoring property requirements for voting, because only people with property have skin in the game. So we know what's going on. It's fomented by billionaires. It's fomented by the Republican Party leadership. It's fomented by ALEC, which is another way of saying the first two things. And so I don't think that educating legislators, Republican legislators, is going to do too much, with some honorable exceptions. They're in on the conspiracy. So the question is how to beat this conspiracy. It's every bit as concerted as the Jim Crow conspiracy was.